Hi, everyone. I'm Victor Fernandez of Fernandez Fit LLC, and I'm here with you today to talk about really the biggest regret of my life. And that's not focusing on my health and fitness, sooner than I did. I mean, I went many, many years, 2 decades, in fact, being overweight, unhealthy, and really too lazy, too stubborn, and someone who just didn't have enough confidence in myself to really do anything about it. And the reason for that was because every time I tried, I made the same core mistakes over and over again. And there were a lot of them, I'll be honest with you, too many to count, and I could be on here for hours if I tried to break down each and every one of them. But I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the top five mistakes that I made, and you may relate to any or all of these. You may have done them along the way. I know I got plenty of practice doing them. For years and years, I made the same mistakes over and over again. So I'm hoping that by sharing with you all the boneheaded missteps and miscues I made will hopefully help you avoid making these same mistakes over and over again. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see if this works here. Let's see here. There we go. And voila. So you're seeing a little presentation that I've put together entitled Learning from My Mistakes. Pretty catchy name, huh? At least you know you know exactly what that name is trying to tell you. And as I say in that little spiel there at the bottom, my only regret in life is not pursuing health, better health the right way from the beginning. And I wasted so much time, so many years along the way, from making that happen. I mean, I really didn't become healthy like I am today until about 10, 12 years ago. And I really was unhealthy and out of shape since about the time I left college. So you're talking, there's about nearly a 20-year gap there. So let me go ahead and begin with the first one or two. No, that's not me, but you can imagine that's what I looked like many times, during the course of the many stops and starts that I made along the way. And the biggest reason, number one on my list, is unrealistic goals from the start. Simply because we have to take into account where our fitness level is at, where our mindset is at, what we're trying to accomplish, what experience we have with fitness and nutrition previously. If you're a relative newbie, or if you were someone like me who had plenty of stops and starts along the way, but really at my core didn't know what I was doing, you have to set realistic, manageable goals. And I'm not trying to tell people don't shoot for the stars. What I am saying is don't shoot from the stars from day one. You got to build up. I've said this many times to clients before. You can't build the second floor of the house before you build the first, before you build the foundation, because the house will fall. So you have to be able to start with realistic, manageable goals and build your way up. And as you gain more and more momentum and make more and more progress, then you can start intensifying those goals and creating, bigger challenges, for yourself. But for me, no, I couldn't do that. I needed, I was sitting at 248 pounds at my heaviest, and I wanted to get down to 185. And the issue with that is that I didn't want to invest the time necessary to make that happen. I mean, let's face it, on average, you're going to lose, even the most successful fitness routines, long term, you're going to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. So that takes you 4 to 8 pounds per month. So 60 pounds, do the math. You're talking, it took me a little over a year to make that happen. When I finally set my mind to it and did what I had to do with the help of a trainer, I was able to get there to that goal, and actually a little bit beyond that goal, in a little more than a year. Much more realistic than trying to lose it just like that. Not going to happen. So what would happen is I would set these immense goals, and then when I didn't reach them quick enough, is when I would start getting frustrated, and then I would quit. So you have to look at that and say, all right, what can I do right now? And once I accomplish those things, how can I build off that? And before you know it, little victories become, when you pack them all together, become bigger victories. Number 2 on my list, more ambition, less patience. Now you're probably saying to yourself, what do you mean? What's wrong with more ambition? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing if channeled properly. And that's the key. And I was very ambitious. I just, for what I had in ambition, I lacked in patience. It basically stems from that number 1 item on my list there, unrealistic goals from the start. I wanted to get there so quickly that I wasn't willing to take the necessary steps to make it happen, no matter how long that took. So again, nothing wrong with ambition. You need that to be able to pursue your goals in any aspect of life. But you have to take the time and the necessary steps to make that happen. So here's what I would do. I would go balls to the wall, working out hard every day, 6 and 7 days a week, because I thought the more I did, the quicker I'd reach my goals. Same thing for in the kitchen. I would be on super, super restrictive diets, and I would do fine for a week, maybe 2, if I was lucky, a month. But after that, forget it. It simply wasn't sustainable for someone who hadn't experienced that type of exercise, that level of exercise, and that level of commitment to such a restrictive diet. And I'm not going to pinpoint one or the other, because I tried them all. Diet-wise, I tried them all, and they all had, very little success short term, and absolutely no success long term. And really not because of the diet themselves, but because of the person who was on the diets. I wasn't willing to take the necessary steps and take the time and be patient and realize it truly is a marathon, not a sprint, at the risk of sounding cliche. Which, so when done properly, you start making those little improvements. You start seeing that little bit of progress each and every day. And I see it a lot with clients now, where day by day they try to see what's there and they don't see it. And I know we're always our own worst enemies. But after a while, weeks and months pass by, and you've done the work consistently, both in the kitchen and the gym, and all aspects of fitness and of life. And then one day you start noticing, hey, I'm starting to lose weight. I'm starting to build muscle. I feel so much more energized. My clothes are fitting looser. I can hardly keep them up without, I remember having to yank up my jeans constantly until I bought new jeans. But unless you're ready to make that level of a commitment and understand that you cannot be an overnight, it's not going to be an overnight sensation. It's going to be day by day. It's not sexy. It's not trendy. It's not a magic pill where you can say, take this, and voila, you're thin, you're muscular, you're in great shape. You're in the best shape of your life. I wish it were that easy, because I'd be busy right now developing that pill so I could sell it and become a millionaire. But obviously it doesn't work that way. So you got to take the time. You got to commit to taking the steps and making it happen. Without it, you're going to go through the stops and starts that I did for many, many years. And I obviously look like that guy, except, he has more hair. So on to number 3. So we're about the halfway point of my top 5 list here. And I'm sure you've heard this phrase. I know my clients have heard this phrase quite a few times: consistently inconsistent. And what I mean by that is, it's a roller coaster ride. It's great one day and we're going uphill, and then we're going down the next, careening down the hill on the other side, as opposed to, that steady climb. We're going to have that steady climb. You're going to hit that plateau, steady climb again, and so on, up that mountain to your ultimate goal. And one of the issues that I had, and this pertains to a lot of people. I discussed this with somebody just the other day, where you have, especially people like me at that time, who were generally new to not just fitness, but doing fitness the right way, we fall into two different categories. We either don't put in enough work, those who train, say, 1 to 2 days a week and are maybe good with their nutritional plan a little bit here and there. And then you have the other end of the spectrum, where you have people that go, like I said earlier, balls to the wall, 6, 7 days a week, going hard in the gym, twice a day, every day, and more than twice on Sunday. So, and again, same thing, being on a super restrictive diet, because they figure the harder they work and the more restrictive they make their nutritional plan, the quicker they'll get results. I, surprise, surprise, fell into both of those categories at one point in time or another. I would be category number 2 here, trained 6 to 7 days a week when I first started, because again, figured the harder I worked and the more I worked and the more I restricted my diet, the quicker I'd get my results. And that might work again for a week or 2 or so, and then down the other side of the roller coaster tracks, right? And then, and I can't blame this on my career or life or family. I blame this only on myself, that I would allow life and frustration to get in the way. The excuse that we all make, as parents, as people with adults with families. Oh, life's just too busy. I just don't have time. And next thing you know, that 6 to 7 days a week and that restrictive diet became fewer days in the week, down to 1 or 2 as I show here. And next thing you know, I'm not training at all anymore. I'm eating like crap again. So, let's face it, when you try to go too much, too fast with your fitness routine, with your nutritional plan, you can last for only so long. We're not all, a small percentage of this world are world-class athletes. Those people, the top 1%, who, when you see the types of workouts and the nutritional plans that they follow on a daily basis, year after year after year, and stick to it all the time, it takes a very specific type of person, a very different kind of person, to really, very focused, individual to be able to maintain something like that. Most of us can't do that. So we have to find that happy medium. And that means developing a sense of consistency that leads to developing better habits. We know that life can get in the way. Life is busy. Life is hectic, messy, unpredictable. I know that. I've lived that. But as long as you maintain a consistent pace and mentality with your training regimen, with your nutrition plan, you're going to get the results you want, regardless of how crazy and hectic life is. All right, on to numbers 4 and 5. And this may sound a little creepy, and I say in here, no, it's not creepy. You decide for yourself. I used to watch what other people did in the gym, and then I would mimic. So if somebody was doing a chest press, that's what I would do. If somebody was doing planks, that's what I would do. Again, not intended to be creepy. I'm not watching them in a creepy way. I was just someone who didn't know what to do, and I needed to do something. So I would watch other people and do what they do. I see it in the gym all the time. I see it in gyms all the time. Those people that are walking around and they're kind of looking around and they have kind of a befuddled look on their face. They're confused. They're intimidated. They're not quite sure what to do. That was me. So I would resolve that by watching what others do and trying to do it myself. Now, could I do some of those exercises? Sure. But does that mean those exercises were what I needed to be doing? No. It took getting together with a trainer to figure out what worked best for me, because what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. So find what works for you. Take that time, either through a trainer or doing research, whatever, or a combination of both. Learn. Knowledge is power. especially when it comes to your health and fitness. Because the more you know, the more in control of what you need to do to be successful you can be. Finally, this is the big picture. Focused on the results, that 60 plus pounds at the end of the rainbow, not the journey, not the steps along the way. And I've said this many times before. That's what, 60 plus pounds, that was my goal back then. And even when I accomplished it, when I started the successful part of my journey, that was my goal. There wasn't really anything else, but so much more happened along the way that I would have missed out on if I hadn't taken the time to stay in the moment, stay in the here and now, and focus on today. When I worked out today, I did a core workout today. I didn't worry about, I wasn't focused on what I did yesterday. That's done. If it was a great workout, great. If it wasn't, so be it. Can't do anything about it. And I can't impact tomorrow until I take care of today. Today leads into tomorrow. So you need to focus precisely on what you're doing today, what you can do today to be 1% better. I, of course, didn't do that. I was focused on the end goal from day one. That's all that mattered. And I lost myself along the way, and I got off track along the way because I wasn't at the goal yet. Again, my impatience took over, and I wasn't able to stay consistent and stay focused on what I needed to do each and every day. Don't take a single day of it for granted. Really don't. Regardless of what your goals are, you're going to learn so much more about yourself, if you focus on the here and now, on the task at hand. When I started, like I said, 60 plus pounds was the goal. I had no idea I was going to change careers and become a fitness trainer and help others reach their goals, help others get through the same, challenges and obstacles that I went through so many times over. I never knew it. That wasn't even a thought in my mind. And things continue to change for me, all because I focused on what I needed to do each and every day, like I do now. I mean, it applies to every aspect of life. So if you look beyond today, you're going to miss out what goes on today, what you're going to learn about yourself today, what you're going to accomplish today. So don't worry about the end goal. It's going to be there. Just like those dirty dishes you leave in the sink before you head off for work in the morning, they're going to be there when you get back, so you can do them then. So don't worry about what the ultimate end goal is. If you follow the step-by-step process every day and focus on each and every day, you're going to get to that goal. I appreciate you all taking the time to watch and to listen. I hope this resonates with you. It certainly does with me every time I think about it. I hope you took away something from it. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any thoughts, any comments, anything you want to ask, anything that's, it's weighing on your mind as you either embark or continue your fitness journey. All my information here. You can find me on social media on Facebook, on under Victor Fernandez 123. I know that's a really intriguing name as well. My free Facebook group, Healthy Bodies, Healthy Families. If you're not a member of the group yet, what are you waiting for? It's a great group, a great bunch of people. They're great to talk to, great to interact with. They have a lot to add to that group. It's not just me talking to them. It's everybody, collaborating and really having a nice discussion each and every day. So if you're haven't joined the group yet, hit me up, let me know. I'll send you a personal invite. Instagram, Fernandez Fit LLC, as well as my new website, fernandezfit.com, where you can find testimonials and all sorts of cool information. My new blog as well, which is still unnamed, but I'm working on that. So that's been unveiled as well. And of course, by email, ocmdfernandezfit@gmail.com. Hit me up any of those ways. Friend request me, follow me, do all that fun stuff you do on social media, and we'll get to where we need to be. All right. You all have a great rest of the day. Take care and God bless.